Local sports, trending players, station info, and chances to win prizes all year long.
I'm RJ Saunders with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. For 1010XL, Florida State men's basketball will face Rice in the Battleground 2K Hoops doubleheader at the Toyota Center in Houston on November 9th, as announced by the United Sports and Entertainment. The Seminoles will face the Owls in the first game of the doubleheader, which features Houston against Auburn in the second game of the one-day event. Florida men's basketball has also announced their 2024-2025 non-conference slate, ushering the Gators' third campaign under head coach Todd Golden. The schedule includes 6 matchups versus in-state foes and plenty of opportunities for fans around the state and the region to see the Gators in action, with 11 games in Florida, along with dates in Atlanta and Charlotte. 79 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time, that's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God, this is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me?
Big dogs ready to go today, even though we're minus Leon Searcy. He is enjoying a week in what we hope is beautiful weather down in the Virgin Islands, because he did avoid the storm, but it is still raining here. Not storming, but raining. And if you've been dealing with any flooding or anything like that, we're rooting for you, man. 100% we're rooting for you. As a matter of fact, you can let us know how things are sitting if you are in harm's way at 641-1010, and we'll definitely send out a good vibe to you. That's for sure. Welcome in a Beaver Chevy Beaver Toyota Tuesday, as we are ready to crank, and we've got our head coach, Dave Campo, hanging out with us. Now, we missed you on Friday. You're back ready to rock and roll after a nice trip out to Utah. Is that right?
Yeah, well, the trip was great. A little wedding. I had some time to hang out. Ate as much as I could eat in 4 days, unfortunately. And then, of course, got delayed on the way back because the hurricane coming in here.
Now, you didn't.
I didn't get in until really late on Sunday night, but everything else was good.
All right, good. You didn't have the horror story. Matt, how long were you in the airport? Like 30, 31 hours?
It felt like Frange and I were in that airport, honestly. It felt like about 4 days. So
yeah. And so that
like you had to. So we were told we had to go out from security into the main area to ticket again, and we didn't have to.
Yeah.
But once we got out there, guess what?
Yeah.
You're in this gigantic snake of a line.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing you could do. You're just all right.
Gosh.
And we never even had to. That was the worst part.
Yeah. That's planes, trains, and automobiles right there. Hellish. Like, why? No, we never should have made you do that. We apologize. Yeah. 15 hours.
No, it wasn't
Too
even.
late
No, there was no apology. It was, well, I don't know why they told you that. That's all it was.
And then, of course, the weather messed up a few people. We need to check in with Denny, because Denny was supposed to fly out to L.A. today. Hopefully he made it. But I think I saw a total of 64 flights that were going to be canceled or had been canceled between yesterday and today out at JIA. So, listen, we love our XL Primetime fans out there at JIA, so you guys can hit us with a text at 641-1010 and let us know if things are back to normal, because there's still rain out there. But
my son flew in today.
Yeah, so
he got in on time.
Okay, good.
Just like 12:30 or something. So I guess everything's moving.
All right, that's good to hear. Now, listen, we got a couple big pieces of NFL news that we got to cover. And we got camp fights, and we figured since Coach, we haven't seen him in a couple days, we at least go back and talk a little bit about the camp fight here in Duval yesterday, which was not that big, but it did happen. And then you got Daniel Jones basically throwing himself into a fight with the Giants and Lions. And you got the Bucs coming to town next week for a joint practice, so we'll see how feisty it gets. But before we get into that, this Brandon Ayuk deal is big. Now, you guys, all you NFL fans out there, know that we've been kind of watching and wondering where the Brandon Ayuk thing would go. And Matt, we've said it over and over. Yeah, right? Exactly. But we said it like we've attacked it so many different ways. Jags tried to sign Calvin Ridley, couldn't do it. Would they make a play for Brandon Ayuk? The thought was there that they were at least inquiring. And then Brandon Ayuk went back and forth on social media saying, they don't want me or I don't want them, yada, yada, yada. And then it looked like he was in love with them again. We all knew he was just playing his hand.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's what you do in any walk of life, any job. Philosophically, they made a decision, is what it appears like. They made a decision. No, we're going to draft a receiver instead of signing Ayuk, which means you'd have to sign him to a long-term deal, all right, which is what they were willing to do with Calvin Ridley, okay? And if you're paying a cornerback that's probably had 11, 12 good games for you as one of the top corners in the league, these decisions now start to come into your decision-making, okay? Because you philosophically say we're going to draft, and I'm fine with that, okay? I'm fine with that. Brian Thomas going to end up being a great player. You know what you got with Brandon Ayuk, and he's ascending. Yeah. So that was my kind of thing of, well, if you did that, then you could help your offense in other areas that you desperately need help, i.e. the offensive line.
Yeah. My counter to that has always been, Coach, that you have to develop talent. You have to get them as affordably as you can. If you keep making more moves in free agency than you do in the draft, it's going to catch up to you. You can't keep buying $20 million guys.
Yeah, and real quick, Coach, I'm sorry.
Which is what I
and to be fair, especially after the comments he's made recently, Shad Khan, he even could have said, look, we're not doing that.
Right.
We're not paying that kind of money. Let's just draft.
Yeah, he did come out.
Because he's come out and said, look, we've got to stop doing this free agency, band-aiding things with free agency. He very easily could have said that.
Yeah, I think that's the key. To me, free agency is great in spots. You've got to have guys, and that's been one of the problems here, as we all know, of guys getting the second contracts through the draft and all that. You have to draft and develop. There's no question about that. And I think, and it is a little bit of a financial issue because of what we talked about. You had to pay the quarterback. You had to pay the corner. You had to do there's
and I do think Tyson Campbell's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's one of the top three corners, but I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, there comes a point where you have to say, okay, we're going to bring guys like Thomas in here and develop them and,
it's philosophically is what it is. Yeah,
there's no question about it. So, to me, the one thing that's interesting with the Ayuk situation is, I think they kept him as long as they could to make it more difficult for somebody to come up with something good enough. But they had the leverage at the end. If somebody needs him right now, they're going to have to come up with a big number, whether it's a draft pick, a player, or whatever it is.
And I like that logic because the only way you're going to get the best deal you can possibly get when you are letting go of a high-quality Class A player is to put the other team in a bit of a desperate situation.
Absolutely.
So that does make sense.
Yes.
And so at least the numbers are right now, the chatter is that there's two teams that are interested. Brandon Ayuk has been given permission to seek a trade. The 49ers can ultimately say yay or nay. The two teams that have been identified, and this is the Jeff Darlingtons, the Rap Sheets, the Schefters of the world, the Patriots, which I'm a little curious about, and then the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns also have Amari Cooper, at least in the discussion. That remember, they went and got him from Dallas, and now that they want a Brandon Ayuk, they may be saying goodbye to Amari Cooper. And that's just basically trading age. Same position, a little more costly for Ayuk, but that's trading age is what it is, right?
Yeah. It's trading age, but it's also, I mean, if you're going along I think Ayuk's a better player right now. I guess is the easiest way to say it. Okay, so you're not only just trading age, you're also trading. He's a better player. And I like Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper clearly is not the same player that he was the first few years in the league.
Yeah, turned 30 this summer, and when you take a look at the way things have gone, is that he was not at the mandatory minicamp, and he's wanting to see if he can't get a pay raise, a la Tyreek Hill and some of these other guys that have gotten big bumps during the offseason, and he's hoping to get some cash. And so they're going, you know what? We're going to put out the 49ers fire by going and getting Ayuk, and we're going to extinguish one of our own.
One of the things that comes into play which I don't think is the case in this one, but a lot of times, you'll let a guy talk to other teams, try to get a trade going to see what his value is. And then at the very end, you give him a contract based on the fact that it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
You know, and now the leverage is back with you again because the player, the agent, you know, is going to take less, obviously, if he can't get anything.
Right.
So I don't know if that's the case because I think financially they're in a little trouble in San Francisco.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, because they have big tabs they're going to have to pay.
Correct.
They already paid Nick.
Correct. Right.
Trent Williams wants more money. So they got a lot of things. They got the Brock Purdy deal, which you know is coming, just like all the other teams have had to deal with as well. And so Amari got money, and I don't know whether they're happy that they're paying that money.
Yeah.
But they paid it. They made that decision. And so, RJ, let's just set up a X poll because let me just set it up from a Duval point of view. The Cleveland Browns could be first home game for Jacksonville could be bringing Brandon Ayuk to Duval.
He had 3 for 55 and a TUD last year.
And so
the
you
49ers against the Jags.
Yeah. So you start thinking about this secondary, which we think is a pretty deep room. But if Cleveland comes rolling in with a Brandon Ayuk, how much more worried are you about the home opener? And RJ, just phrase it the way you want. And we'll say thanks to Beaver Chevy and Beaver Toyota for bringing you today's show and, of course, the X poll. But that adds another dimension, another layer to the Cleveland Browns if he were to become Deshaun Watson's teammate.
Yeah.
Deshaun's got to be saying, you know what? I like the fact that we just got Amari signed and sealed and made sure that we kept him. But, boy, if I could have Brandon Ayuk to throw the football to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those two, Elijah Moore as well. I mean, suddenly it's a lot easier for Deshaun Watson to throw the ball, especially if he's completely healthy and he's what he once was. Man, that's
Well, yeah, the one thing that I'm just so curious about is whether or not Deshaun Watson's ever going to turn that corner again.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it would just take him a little bit of time to return to form, but it has not. And then obviously the shoulder that the injury was pretty significant that he went through last year, and he still hasn't proven. Like, we're on the outside looking in. You got to believe there's some people inside that building, Coach, that are worried as all get out about Deshaun Watson, especially with guaranteed dollars.
Cedric Tillman's still there. David Bell's still there. I mean, they've got a decent receiving core, man.
Well, if you think of what Njoku represented when he was healthy as well, that guy's pretty dangerous too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right, so you guys chime in on that, 641-1010. Let us know what you're thinking, and then RJ will set up the X poll. But I couldn't help but think about it. If Brandon Ayuk is on the move, this team will see him sooner than later if he does land in a Cleveland Browns uniform. We're going to look around the rest of the National Football League and zero in on some of these quarterbacks. Bo Nix, you may have been, well, I was probably considered a doubter when it came to Bo Nix immediately coming in.
Hater.
Well, listen.
Not doubter, hater. Big difference.
Yeah, but I want to qualify this. Duck Bo, I loved. I really did. He was one fun, feathery cat to watch. I loved Duck Bo. War Eagle Bo, not so much. He struggled in the SEC, thrived in the Pac-12. But then I wondered, is Sean Payton going to be able to get everything out of him? Anyway, the numbers are impressive, so we'll run through the quarterbacks, how they're doing, and just bounce around the National Football League training camps that are going on. It is XL Primetime. Thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. They are there to wow you every single day. You can log on beaverchevrolet.com, beavertoyota.staugustine.com, and you can see the selection is tremendous. Coach Campo has bought one off of each lot within the last few months, so he knows how easy it is to work with them. Highlander, and then what did you get on the Chevy side?
No, it was a used car from the Chevy side. It was a Honda CVR, I think.
CRV.
It's for my son, CRV.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. You can get pre-owned and brand new on the lot at either one of them. You can definitely check them out. So we're going to talk NFL training camps, Jaguars as it is game week, closer and closer. Doug Peterson made an announcement about what's going to happen with your starting quarterback, and maybe some of the other starters will tell you what he said coming up on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. The U.S. women's soccer team is locked in a scoreless semifinal match with Germany as they head to extra time. The winner will meet the winner of the Spain-Brazil match that is scheduled to get underway in about an hour. All three Americans are through to the final of the men's 400 meters. Quincy Hall won his heat to advance, while Michael Norman took second in his heat. Chris Bailey was third in his heat, but made it through on time. The U.S. men's basketball team returns to the court this afternoon. They've got a quarterfinal matchup with Brazil. Tip-off is at 3:30 Eastern. The winner will meet Serbia in the semifinals on Thursday. After the Serbs rallied from 24 down, they came back to beat Australia 95-90 in overtime. And the U.S. women's volleyball team is on to the semis after a 3-0 win over Poland today. The Americans will take on Brazil on Thursday for a spot in the gold medal match. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Anywhere else, Tuesday is just, well, Tuesday. But if you're at KFC, Tuesday is $10 Tuesday, which means you can get 8 hot, juicy drums and thighs for just $10. Let me say that again. 8 pieces of hot, juicy, original recipe chicken, hand-breaded in 11 herbs and spices. All for just $10 every Tuesday. Only at KFC. Guess Tuesday isn't just Tuesday anymore. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's in full swing, and air conditioners are fully stressed. But do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services to stay cool and comfortable all season long. Need a new AC? Fenwick has same-day estimates and next-day installations on energy-efficient systems. And your new system is backed by a warranty of up to 12 years. That's right, 12 years. Fenwick also offers same-day 24/7 service day or night, and their expert technicians will get the job done and get it done right the first time. Book online now at FenwickHomeservices.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
For a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th at Daytona, answer this question. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen at Circa. You'll huddle up with the Heels at the Overhang Bar for our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and giveaways. For a chance to win this all-in package to Circa with Helmets and Heels, enter at 1010xl.com/Vegas.
And if you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, Circa Resort and Casino has a special rate just for Jacksonville fans. Mia here, and for just $500, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 in food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available till August 30th, so act now. Book and join the Heels in Vegas. Visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjax.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Training camp is about the basics.
Focus on the fundamentals.
Every time something you need to know happens at training camp, you'll hear about it on 1010XL. Brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Roland Reach Plumbing.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Believe bring it back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
For over 40 years, Play It Again Sports has served its customers with a winning, sustainable shopping model. Could say, we were recycling before recycling was cool. Save on quality used sporting goods for baseball, softball, lacrosse, hockey, golf, tennis, and more. Or sell us your gently used gear. We buy all sports, all seasons, and offer cash on the spot. Stop by Play It Again Sports today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainsports.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Well, as soon as, and you guys know, I've usually played the starters or the penciled-in starters, a series or two in this first game and then get them out. And then really from there, it's we want to look at everybody. And so you have 3 quarters, maybe 3.5 to really get a good look at a lot of the young players and see what you have there. And so sometimes it doesn't work out that way, maybe guys play more special teams than they do offense, defense, but at the same time, you still want to give everybody a chance to get in this game and play.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, there's your head coach, Dougie Fresh. That was yesterday, the cut courtesy of Jaguars.com, as he laid out basically trying to play get a look at as many starters that are healthy and good to go, and then start to work on your roster, your depth after that. And we're actually going to start working on the roster in some depth as well. But that's the essence, Matt. And then, of course, he went on the Rich Eisen show, Doug Peterson did earlier, and says that he's planning on Trevor Lawrence playing roughly a couple of series, and we'll see exactly how much.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, yeah, you've invested in him monetarily. Obviously, he is your quarterback. He is the face of the franchise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I would expect the offensive line to play every one of those snaps with him, the starting offensive line, because you're not putting and I'm not trying to offend these guys. You're not putting no slappies in there in front of him. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Well, if you have a number one quarterback, you better have number one all around.
Number one lines in there, man. Number one receivers are in there. Number one tight ends in there. All number ones in there.
That's the key to the whole thing. And really, you look at it. We always had 4 preseason games in the past. Now there's 3. Well, the first game with 4, you didn't play anybody. You played all the rookies. Mm-hmm. Second game, you played at least 1 to 2 series with the guys, and then the third one is kind of your I guess
of a
what
prove
you
it
look
game.
at, it's like a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the second game now. So you play your guys a couple series, then the next ball game you play them maybe for a half.
Yeah, right.
Then the following one, the third one, you just play your rookies and take a good look at them.
But let's just say, like, one of those starting 5 offensive line, when he's in the first series, like, tweaks something and has to come out. Yeah. No, he's out then.
Well, look,
do not have him in there, even if you only have one guy that's not.
Okay, well, let's
part
go
of
through
5.
this. Let's go through this real quick because you actually have.
I was just going to say. We got some problems right now. Cleveland got banged up, right?
Cleveland had a little slight injury. You had Cam with the shoulder.
Right.
You had Anton, who at least got the bump in the head. But for the most part, most of these guys are getting through everything. Cam was out there yesterday with no problem, so that was good news. I'm trying to remember how many snaps I saw.
I should say if it's a tackle, like, because Walker can handle the left or the right side.
Yes.
So if it's a tackle, if it's one of those middle 3 that gets hurt for any reason that first series, take him out.
Yeah, I'm with you there for sure.
And this actually does give Walker a little bit of time to be seen in these settings. It's not like you're going to have everything exactly how you want it, but Anton Harrison is the perceived starter on the right side for all the obvious reasons. He played there the entire year last year, played well, bridged up performance-wise as the season went along, so meaning his best football came at the end. And so this gives Walker a little chance to be seen.
Hey, I'll tell you what, he had a really good practice with Anton Harrison out. A really good practice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to take his job. I'm just saying, every time he's been asked to play that spot, either left tackle, other than guard, he's played well.
And in games.
Yeah, games.
Not just in practice.
I mean, in 2022, he played really well. And frankly, last year he played well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to me, it's just he's – look, we say this all the time, and I hear coaches. I can't tell you how many coaches I've said, and I'm sure Dave will say the same thing. Some guys, when the lights go on in the stadium and they got those silk jerseys on, they're different players.
Yeah,
they just play better. And he may be one of those guys. Did you have guys like that?
No, I agree with that. No, I agree with that. I really think that some guys just have the ability to turn it on when it's the real deal. And there are other guys. You look at a guy like Armstead, for example, he doesn't have to play a lick in preseason.
Right. You know what
because he'll come in and he'll turn it on in the first ball game, even if he doesn't play anything in the preseason. So, everybody's a little different that way.
All right, RJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, the Jaguars already brought in a Green Bay Packer secondary star in Darnell Savage. And he is part of the team. But now Aaron Wilson, NFL, tweeting out that the Jaguars are signing veteran safety Adrian Amos. And so if I'm looking at his numbers, and there's another guy that's going to be looked at to come in and lend some help along this, your total secondary could be 10 or 11 guys. And we look at the health of Dewey Wingard, which is
that's what it is. That's the tea leaves.
That's the whole reason for this.
Something going on with Dewey
is that Dewey is going to miss a significant amount of time. They haven't fully said exactly what it's going to be.
Right.
But I'm taking a look, and you're talking about Amos, who's been around for a long time. He's been in the league as long as Mitch Morse has been in, just to kind of give you an idea. And it's definitely, you saw him in a Bears uniform and a Green Bay Packer uniform over the handful of years that he's been in the National Football League. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't think this means they have questions with Antonio Johnson. I think he's obviously their guy, and he probably would have won the job anyway. I think it's more along the lines of they're a little unshaky with the guys they got behind him, and they're not so sure about the guys they got behind him. And it's also could just be camp body at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, with Dewey being banged up, they need a guy out there.
Yeah.
They have to play somebody in the preseason.
Yeah.
Somebody has to play. So, you're going to sign guys just to make sure you've got the depth that you need to do that as well.
And honestly, all the way up until this last year.
You notice how coach, by the way, he never uses the term camp body because it's just, as a coach, he'll never use that term.
And by the way, when he's done with that camp body, he's done with that camp body. And he ain't going to say anything bad about it until then. But as far as Adrian Amos is concerned, for the bulk of his career, and we're talking 9 out of 10 years or 8 out of 9 years, he basically started almost all of his games. He was hurt a little bit in 2017. started 10 of 13 games that year. But you can go down the line, 16 games, 14 games, 16 games, 16, 17, 17. And then last year he only started 3. Yep. And so that's what he's trying to prove, is that he's healthy and still has it.
Right.
But the injury to Dewey, that's the most significant thing that they're looking at right now.
I think it means it's obviously he's out for and they've said this for a significant amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on like how bad is it. Like, George, our doctor, George Barry, always says that the ACL's bad, yeah, but the PCL also is also a very dangerous injury that can keep you out for an extended amount of time.
Right. And we don't know for sure.
Right. We don't know what it is. Yeah. Right. But we just know it's a knee.
Yeah. And that's a vague, believe it or not, vague term when it comes to length of time you're going to be away. And heck, we can use so many other examples of guys that you thought were going to be down for a considerable amount of time, and they were, boom, right back. And then other ones like Zay Jones,
right,
that just took a long time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and some of them come back in practice and then re-injure.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't know.
All right, so that's worth looking at. As a matter of fact, let's just use this opportunity, and we'll go into the next seg, and we'll talk. We're starting to reduce the roster. And so we're going to look at the numbers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Those are the biggest groups. Secondary, big group. We're going to start looking at these position rooms and the butt end of each of these groups. Who is hanging on, who's not? We have an injury?
We got a dub.
Oh.
Dub for the women's team, the women's soccer team.
Okay, give me that, RJ, because we got to get this in here real quick.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So it's the extended time is over. It's the United States women's national team with a dub. It's not the national team, it's the Olympic team, sorry. They beat Germany 1-0.
Yeah. It's their
I believe they moved to the semis now, right? Or is this the semis?
I'm looking.
I'm not even watching the Olympics, so I don't really know. I believe they now moved to the semis.
Yeah, they won 1-0 over Germany. So that's good. And look, we've been seeing a lot of great stuff on the Olympic stage. That's for sure over in Paris. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's get to the roster and just starting to just take a look at some of the guys that are at the butt end of that position group depth chart and who might be at risk, who needs to start to shine to see if they have a shot on this team. We'll do that coming up. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. It is XL Primetime. Make sure you check both of those dealers out when it comes to great rides, new and pre-owned. They can get it done for you. They will definitely look forward to welcoming you onto their lot. So roster cut down, at least the start of it coming up.
XL Primetime's Coach Dave Campo is brought to you by Bold City Heating and Air. Online at boldcityac.com. You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of new vehicles. Trax starting at $299 a month. Traverse for $399 a month. Silverados as low as $499 a month. And they all come with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected for the next 20 years. Plus, every purchase will help fund a teacher's project in our schools. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Jaguars fans, the 2024 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with our Kansas City Chiefs Saturday, August 10th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field. The Jaguars have won it! You won't want to miss a second of the action. Grab your tickets for the 7 p.m. kick by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Barry, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match, or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Barry Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Barry at Barry Orthopedics.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 6, 2006, Tiger Woods becomes the youngest player to compile 50 PGA Tour wins with a 3-stroke victory over Jim Furyk in the Buick Open.
The 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris feature incredible athletes, and it's the third time the Olympics will be held in Paris. If you're planning to attend, USAPark.net Airport Parking salutes your support of our American athletes. So no matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers, how does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound, and a signing bonus? Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes Summers here, so let's talk about something sizzling, making a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile, vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others online at Awaken180weightloss.com. That's Awaken180weightloss.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Gabe Davis spoke on the impact he brings to the offense with his explosive play style. The past few years in Buffalo, Davis had been one of Josh Allen's go-to deep ball targets, which is something he looks to bring to Duval.
Once you install the general things, I feel like all the other stuff that are add-ons are kind of game week situational. So kind of makes it easy. I mean, you just study that week and, you'll be fine with it. We've all played so much football, so it's not going to be hard to be able to adjust with new plays or a new little system or something.
Davis caught 27 touchdowns in his 4 seasons with the Bills and is ready to bring a disturbing presence to secondaries with the Jags in his new offense, where adjusting should be no issue. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Hanging out with our head coach on a Beaver Toyota Tuesday. Dave Campo in with us. Joe C., Matty Hayes, R.J. Saunders making it all happen. And Adrian Amos is now a newly acquired Jacksonville Jaguar. But you read up on him, and towards the end of last year, he was let go by the New York Football Jets. Played in about, it looks like 250 snaps with them. Bounced around, has been on multiple teams, primarily Chicago and Green Bay, but then also had stints with a couple of teams last year. So we'll see whether or not he can come in and provide a little experience, depth, and look, Dewey Wingard, for everything that he may or may not be as a football player, he is a leader in the locker room. He is a special teams captain. He knows where he's supposed to be. He may not make every play, but dang, he makes a lot of them. And so not having him back there or as part of your everyday special teams and defense, that's a miss. That's going to be somebody you miss.
Let's be honest. He was having a good camp.
He really was
having a really good camp.
Yeah.
He was not giving up that job easily. Let's just put it that way.
And the competition was on. And let's use the secondary as we begin this discussion because we're going to try and reduce the roster little by little every week. And I think most of you, if you're a diehard Jaguar fan, you're paying attention, and you know what that depth chart looks like. And there aren't too many spots that are really up for grabs. We all agree with that?
Yeah, yes. I think it's very difficult.
Yeah, but there's more competition this year.
Correct.
More guys that are coming in with talent that can challenge.
Well, you've heard me say that one of the, and I hate to just point out one guy, but Gregory
Jr. is a good example.
Is an example to me. You know, he was a factor last year. Now, I thought he had a good camp. He played sparingly during the season, but he was a factor. Well, the guys that they brought in that weren't here last year, in my opinion, have surpassed him athletically. Now, I don't know that all these guys are going to make it or that he won't make it.
Right.
You know, just as a football player, but athletically, they've passed him. So, to me, there's going to be competition. There's going to be great competition.
Yeah, I think the middle of the defensive line, same way. You've upgraded that competition significantly. The only area where you really did is the offensive line. It's really it's the same guys.
Yep.
It's basically the same guys. So I think that's a little bit of a bummer. You obviously upgrade the competition at corner. Yeah, I mean, it's even running backs got a little more juice now. The Tank Bigsby looks like Tank looks good out there. He's also having a really, like, if you're asking me who are the like top three guys who are having that you can say having great camps, I think he'd be one of them.
Yeah, he would be.
Well, it's so funny because let's just use what we have used as a phrase before: Jaguar good.
No, he looks different. He looks quick and.
But like to Coach's point, Gregory Jr. was Jaguar good last year, and then he got hurt and was never really fully healthy.
Yeah,
Tank looked Jaguar good last year, and kind of got lost when he got into the real situation. But now,
well, he fumbled the ball. That was the problem.
Yeah.
I don't think anything other to do than ball security.
I still maintain,
like, if they can't trust you on the field, you're not going to play.
Right.
Doesn't matter how talented you are.
I still maintain knowing that playbook and picking up the blitz.
Well, that was part of it, in my opinion. I think when he had,
but you can get by and not picking up the blitz if you can run and hold on the ball.
Well, yeah,
not getting your quarterback killed.
Well, yeah, but I've seen him in this the practices that I've been at. He was much more comfortable back there.
Was he a willing protector? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, I think he can block.
Yeah,
I think he'll be all right. I think the biggest thing with him is just confidence because, as far as running the football, I mean, he bounced a couple outside in this camp that he looks like a big time runner.
The best looking, I'm not trying to run Etienne off. All I'm saying is the best thing that could happen for them if he becomes a really good player.
Yeah.
Then you're just running through running backs at that point like everybody else does.
Yeah, and the other thing is that he's certainly more aware of what he needs to do to win playing time. It's not like he's going to battle to make the roster. He needs to win playing time. But then also the defense he was going up against last year, a lot of people look good. Trevor looked great against this defense last year. Remember all the stuff we talked about. And then now the battle is on. Defense won the day yesterday, Coach. Andre Cisco picked off all 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so there was a lot of
which is great to see, by the way.
Yes.
Great to see. When your free safety's out there picking off passes, that's a great thing to see.
And you want him to be that roamer that can just make things happen, and he does have a knack for hanging on to the football when he's around it. All right, so let's stay in the secondary, and let's add Amos at least to the conversation for right now. We don't know whether he's going to make it, win playing time, or anything like that. But give me a number. How many cornerbacks and how many safeties do you have making this team? Because I like doing this roster math, trying to figure out. I would have like a total of 10, maybe 11. It just depends on how many you'd have. Half dozen, since we're talking nickel. I got 6 cornerbacks right now, making him 4 safeties.
I think you might have to have 7 corners, man. But then what do you take away from? Yeah, you're going to need, yeah. I think 10's probably it. I think 10's probably the number. I would not be upset with 11 at all, at all. But you also have a guy who Savage can probably play both spots, right?
Well,
at the very least, he can play nickel corner and he can play safety.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to do that with Darby, but Savage is definitely a guy you can do that with. I mean, maybe Antonio Johnson could play nickel, maybe, but I think you've got that one there. You've got Savage that definitely can. So that gives you a little flexibility. Maybe that's why you stick at 10 then.
Yeah. I'd go 6 corners, including Savage.
And 4 safeties.
That's the number I've got in my mind, and I just want to hit a few of these guys real quick because you start thinking about what we just mentioned before. There was an assumption that the guys you knew last year were flat out going to make the team. Listen to these guys, okay? Right now, you take a look at Ronald Darby owning one side, okay? Behind him and competing for playing time behind him are Christian Braswell and DeAndre Prince, and you certainly could throw Jarian Jones in this conversation. Jarian looks like the second.
He's definitely making the team.
Oh, yeah. Man. Oh, he's definitely making the team.
Right.
But I'm saying Jarian looks more like he's the inside behind Darnell Savage, but let's at least include him in this conversation. So anyway, you got Braswell. You got DeAndre Prince. You've got Jarian. You've got all these guys competing for playing time behind Ronald Darby. Go to the other side. You got Tyson Campbell out in front. Now you got Buster Brown, who was part of the dust-up yesterday. And you have Trey Flowers, and Coach, jump in here because I know you like him. And Tavon Campbell still is out there trying to make this roster.
Yeah, I think, personally, I think that the Trayvon Campbell's.
Tavon
Campbell and
Trey Flowers.
To me, is getting passed by.
Okay.
That's my feeling when I look out there because you're going to count Savage. If you're talking corners now, right?
Yeah.
I would see Darby. I would see Campbell. Tyson.
Right.
I would see Savage.
Yep.
I would say Jarian. That's 4.
Right.
I would say Prince is 5.
Interesting.
Because he's going to make the team, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
And then
the hottie toddy Prince.
And then I would say Flowers is 6 if I was going to go with a veteran.
All right. Because honestly, I'm battling right now with Christian Braswell. I think he's done enough in camp to turn my head a little
Prince
bit.
was the only curveball for me there. I think I'd be all right with him, but that's still the only curveball for me right now.
Yeah.
Buster's made some plays for this team. I think that at some point that's going to come into play too. What you think?
Yeah. Well, I think what you've done, if you go the route the coach is referring, and I'm not against it at all right now, because I think Monteric was a good solution to a problem last year. And they hope that they're better this year.
I agree with that.
And so now you renew it, okay? You go get DeAndre, who I think both him and Jarian are active, ferocious when they get close to the football and can thump. Not saying Buster isn't, but I'm wrestling with whether or not DeAndre is a practice squad guy or whether he does make the roster.
I'd say it's the key is Flowers.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Do you stay with the young guys and develop? Or do you go with a guy that's been in the league for 6 years that still has the speed? Looks like he's a long.
He still looks like he can play, does he not?
Yeah.
Every time he's on the field, I'm like, all right, that
he's
dude
always
can play.
doing something, and he can run. I mean, he runs with all the receivers. There's not I see him on special teams. He's out there on the
he's long,
gunner.
man.
He's out there.
That's important, too. The fact that he can be part of a special teams, I don't know whether it's 4-core or not, but if he is active,
I love those long arm guys, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Those 50-50 balls, those are the guys you want out there.
Well, I'll give you guys a really good example, I thought, yesterday. He does have the length and height, and he's on a deep ball. Parker Washington is positioned in between two defenders, and Trey's the primary guy, and behind him may have been Hallett. But anyway, Parker goes up to high point that, and Trey makes the play because he's got the longer arms.
Absolutely. But you're looking at Tyson Campbell's the same way.
Yeah.
I looked at Tyson Campbell last year when he came in. I said to myself, wow, if I had this guy, he'd still be playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Just by your look at him.
And Tyson's 6'2"? Flowers is 6'1"?
Yeah.
I'd put him right there.
Right. They're very close the way they look physically.
Yeah, and so that guy is creeping up the depth chart, and he's going to take Buster Brown's job, in my opinion, if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Buster taking a shot yesterday. Let's ask Coach real quick about this, because Buster may have been a little desperate yesterday when he tried to make a play to try and turn the heads of his defensive coaches. What do you think about what you heard? Gabe Davis just barely being cleared to get back into some full action, and he's in team, and Buster tries to take his head.
Yeah, well, you can't do that. I mean, that's common sense now you're talking about. You got a starting receiver. You got to use some common sense as a DB. I want you to go make a play, but this is training camp. This isn't a preseason game where you're going against somebody else or whatever. But, I kind of like a fight here or there. You know what I mean? But against Gabe Davis, who's just coming off an injury, who is hopefully going to be one of the guys that is a big factor on this football team, you got to be careful.
So let me ask you this. Flowers is an outside guy. You don't think he can play inside?
No.
All right, so they've got to find a second guy inside because heaven forbid,
right now
I know it is, but heaven forbid something happens to one of those safeties. But if they do, Savage is going to safety.
Yes.
So then you've got to have a guy backing up Savage at the
Okay,
nickel.
well then based on that brings Gregory Jr. back into the conversation.
Right. And obviously, Jerian can play in there. I mean, again, he's young, so how quickly do you want him in there if somebody gets hurt?
So you've got Cisco. You got Daniel Thomas behind him. He basically is another really important special teams player and has had a decent camp.
But he's not getting on the field with one of those guys.
Right, so he's got a spot. Antonio's got a spot. Dewey may end up on IR. I don't know. But he has a spot while healthy. Terrell Evans is behind him. I don't know exactly where he's at. I haven't seen him do a whole heck of a lot. So then comes in the question, who else are you going to have back there?
One of the guys
has to be.
Well, one of the guys that they've talked about a lot is Proctor.
That's true. Josh Proctor is also
I'm just talking about what I've heard from the coaches talking. Now, I haven't seen enough of them to say, okay, it's going to be Proctor or it's going to be this. The one thing is, like Matt said, that you got Savage. If there was a problem, he could go back there. So, maybe you keep an extra corner. I don't know, how they get that in there. But to me, I've heard Proctor's name.
I agree.
Bunch, so we're gonna have to see.
I mean, if something happens at safety and you're already down Dewey and he's not available, you're not throwing one of those other guys in there. I mean, you are moving Savage. There's no doubt about it, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
so you've got to find somebody in that slot that can play that position.
So that goes to Greg Jr. and that goes to Jarian.
Right.
Yeah, and so all right, you guys let us know. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Jump on YouTube. If you miss any of the show, we're about to head into 3 o'clock hour. You can stream the whole show real easy. Just go to YouTube and search XL Primetime or 1010XL and check us out. On the Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday, we mentioned the secondary. Let's look at the linebackers. Let's look at that defensive front as we start to trim this roster just a little.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Duck Rooter is hiring plumbers, CDL drivers, septic system installers, and helpers. We offer excellent pay and a full benefits package. Apply at duckduckrooter.com or call for details. 904-862-6769.
Equal opportunity employer.
Mortgage rates have plummeted, and Loan Pronto clients are locking in the lowest rates we've seen in years. Hey, it's Roger Moore, founder and CEO of Loan Pronto. It's happening. We are finally locking APRs in the 5s, something we haven't seen for a long time. If that sky-high rate is killing you or you need to get cash out of your home equity, now is the time to take action. Or listen, even if you want to keep that first mortgage rate intact, you can take advantage of lower rates with our Equity Express line of credit. We're seeing homeowners take $50, $75, $200 or more out of their equity and wiping out that high-interest debt with an average savings of $850 per month. Bottom line, your home value is way up and mortgage rates have come way down, making this a great time to act. Call today for a 30-second rate quote. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Don't just watch the position, learn the position.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer, and he knows.
We invite you into the lab so that you can truly learn the quarterback position.
Friday mornings on The Drill, brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen at Circa, you'll huddle up with the Heels at the Overhang Bar for our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and giveaways. For a chance to win this all-in package to Circa with Helmets and Heels, enter at 1010XL.com/Vegas.
And if you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, Circa Resort and Casino has a special rate just for Jacksonville fans. Mia here, and for just $500, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 in food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available till August 30th, so act now. Book and join the Heels in Vegas. Visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed. Everything counts! 1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Hey there, all you sports dads rocking the best dad bod possible. We love seeing you eat tacos by the handful, and we love it when you bring your kids here too. For years, Lucy claimed that her favorite thing on the menu was sopapillas, with a big scoop of ice cream. I know that's not a taco, but that never stopped her. I was shooting for Dad of the Year anyway, so I just let it happen. Taco Lou's a great place to bring the family. There's something for everyone, as long as it starts with a taco. And a margarita for mom is always a good thing. At Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Atlantic Self Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home, or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ.
home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, a full staff of professionals that have been in this Jacksonville community for a long, long time, and they're ready to answer all those questions. And you know what it's like when you're making big decisions. Well, they can be pricey, but you also want to make sure that you get with the people that can take care of you and deliver on what you're paying for. So if you're thinking about a brand new home, a remodel, addition, you want to look around, it could be commercial or residential, you can trust Preferred Builders. Log on, preferredbuildersjacks.com, and don't forget, if you need a roof, you definitely need to check out preferredroofingjacks.com.
Are you a meat lover searching for quality cuts? Southern Steer Butcher uses a vacuum tumbler to marinate and tenderize our chicken and world-famous steak tips.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
I'm RJ Saunders with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. For 1010XL, the PWC SMU Athletic Forum released today the preseason candidates for the 2024 Doak Walker Award, including Florida senior playmaker Montrell Johnson Jr. Johnson Jr. enters his senior season after starting 11 games in 2023 and leading the Gators in rushing each of the last 2 seasons. Florida State guard Jameer Watkins, one of the nation's top players, returning for the 2024-2025 college basketball season, will participate in the 2024 Nike Basketball Academy. He was an All-ACC honorable mention selection as a junior during the 23-24 season and enters 24-25, looking to build on a streak of 19 consecutive double-figure scoring games. 79 degrees at 3:01, time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air & Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Thanks to Florida Home AC and everybody else who always takes care of 1010 with their sponsorship. We appreciate it. Thanks to all of you for hanging out with us. We hit the 3 o'clock hour with Coach Campo, Joe C., Matt Hayes. Missing Big Searcy this week. He's on vacation having a good time down in the islands, man. Down in the islands.
He got a drink and a big old cigar right now. I can see him laying. He looks like a beached whale over there.
Yeah, he is. He is. With a little nose coat on it.
Yeah, little nose coat.
All right, so we started reducing the roster with your Jaguars. We're going to keep doing it. But RJ knows exactly what we're doing right now, okay? Just go ahead and get that cranked up just a little bit, because this game is as big as it gets. Miami and Florida.
4 months ago, I was telling you guys, the closer we get to this thing, you guys are going to be like, holy crap, this game is big.
So let's
It's the biggest game of the first weekend, there's no doubt.
Well, because the stakes are high in such a different way.
Yes.
Now, think about all the other big games that are out there, okay? You got massive matchups between Georgia, Clemson, USC,
Texas
LSU,
A&M, Notre Dame.
Texas.
Yeah.
There are
Good
so
games.
many other big ones. But this one, just for all the reasons that you've listed, we've listed throughout. But as we start to break it down, let's do the 10-10 take on the Montrell factor, because this is a significant one for the Florida Gators.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
So Sonny's, they get ready. They get ready for football season. You know what they say? Let's just get another pallet of oak in here, because we got a lot of ribs and chicken and pork and turkey to smoke up for all of you. You can get all those delicious, delicious meals from Sonny's for lunch, for dinner, or your football Saturdays and Sundays. Make sure you check them out. So the Montrell Johnson injury is significant. There's no getting away from it. This was a guy that came back, chose to play out one more year under Billy Napier. And if you're looking at what Billy has done in terms of bringing good talent in from Louisiana, he brought a first-rounder in Osiris Torrance, and he brings a very capable, maybe not over-the-top great, but a very capable running back in Montrell Johnson. So it's a blow that he has a little arthroscopic procedure, and we don't know exactly when he's going to be back. But if you're looking at one strength for the Florida Gators right now, I believe it to be that running back room with the guys that they have behind Montrell. And I'm going to mention one guy on top of, is it Big Jacob Ba?
Jaden Ba.
Yeah, Jaden Ba. How much did you say he weighed?
227.
227. But the other guy I'm going to mention along with him, Jacoby Jackson. Jacoby is a junior out of Pensacola that has been there for a little while and has got a chance to step in. Trayon Webb has a chance from right here in Jacksonville, has a chance to step in. I think it's a deep running back room, and I don't think you should panic if you're a Gator fan knowing that Montrell Johnson may or may not be available against Miami. That's the 10-10 take.
I think Montrell Johnson's a really good player. So if he's not available, that's going to be a blow to them. There's no doubt about it. I think Trey Webb would be the guy they'd start with, and Jaden Bob would get a lot of carries. That's difficult for them. If they lose him for that game, that's difficult.
Yeah,
because he's a guy that's been around. He understands pass pro, and I'm looking at Coach.
Yeah,
he's a hard runner. He's got a little wiggle to him. So yeah, I think that's definitely a loss. Now it's an opportunity too. It's an opportunity for Trey Webb to come up and show what he's got. It's an opportunity for Jaden Baugh, all 6'1", 227 of them, who they were just raving about in spring practice.
Yeah, he's a big, upright kid.
Big dude.
Yeah, big, upright kid, tough to bring down, Coach. But at the same time, if Billy designs an offense, which, by the way, their offensive line has more depth than they have had the last couple of years.
How many guys that can design an offense like Billy Napier? Don't you?
Oh, my gosh.
Let me tell you something, man.
When I say this, I talk with a rosary in my hand, okay? But if they now have more depth on the offensive line, more depth in the running back room, more possibilities in terms of playmaking. And I do think that, a guy like that, if he can scheme it up, they're just going to try and overpower that Miami defensive front.
The one thing about losing a guy like Montrell, obviously, is, and again, you don't know if he's going to be ready for the first game or
There's
not.
There's still a possibility.
You lose he's one of Napier's guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
he trusts him, too.
If he's not 100% with it going into the first game, it hurts him because that's a guy that he can lean on. When you got new guys in there, 100%. It's a different story. So that could be an issue. But again, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, so
the one thing I do look at is you are talking about, let's just say the procedure was on Saturday. It might have been on Sunday, but we're talking arthroscopic surgery. A lot of times and we'll ask Gio this tomorrow, but if it is considered, quote, minor, and it's a cleanup, it's a scope, you go in there, you do it, and it's just a minor procedure, you're back out there, and you're looking at a total of 4 more Saturdays from the time he had the operation.
He's got a chance.
That's not unreasonable.
But, and Gio says this all the time.
Yeah.
Every injury is different. Each specific player. Every rehab's different.
Yeah,
each specific player. Every healing is specific to each different player and each different injury. So, the fact that he's having surgery is certainly a moment for pause. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And so the other guys, this is what they were recruited for. Trayon Webb, fantastic player, Trinity. We know how talented he was. We had him on the phone during the offseason, and he feels like this is an opportunity for him to step up. This could be a running back-rich football team that's going to rely on controlling the clock, knocking people off the ball, and then you have to include Trey Wilson and a couple of the other playmakers into your plans. But they will probably make most of their hay running the football.
See, I disagree with that. They're going to make most of their hay with Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
But think about this, Matt. For Graham Mertz, who has 70% completion percentage but doesn't go down the field nearly as much, he needs this running game.
Well, he does. Any quarterback needs the running game. There's no doubt about it. But my point is, I think they're going to do a lot what George is going to do this year. They're going to zero in more on the pass game. They're going to throw the ball more on the second and third level throws, which he was doing at the end of last season and was doing it rather well, actually, before he got hurt against Missouri. So, yeah, I think it's him. And I know everybody talks about DJ Lagway, and I've been saying this over and over. If Lagway's playing a considerable amount of time, they're losing games. Because this is their guy. This is the guy they are winning and losing with right now.
Well, I'm prepared to battle Matt tooth and nail on this one.
No, he'll play. He's going to get plays. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
but I mean, if he's playing like 3 and 4 quarters, and Mertz is hurt, they got problems.
No, that I agree with. but he will be packaged up.
Yeah,
no
he'll
doubt.
have a role.
Yeah, no
sure.
doubt.
And the thing is, there won't be any mystery to it. He comes out.
No, it's going to be like T-Bone Leak, same thing.
But he is still a decent passer. It's not like he's not.
No, he's a very good passer.
Yeah, and so he can move and make throws. And so I just got to believe that they have as many plans to include him as opposed to saying, hey, he needs to sit and watch. There's just no way they're going to do that. It's not going to work.
No, he's not sitting and watching. I'm just saying that they're going to win games because of Mertz.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're in that, and Dave can speak to this. When you're at that situation at quarterback where you win games with the quarterback or you win games because of a quarterback. I think last year early on they were winning games with him, like the Tennessee game. Later, before he got hurt, they were winning games because of him, like the South Carolina game. That's the same thing. It's no different with the Jaguars.
Right.
They have to get to the point where they're winning games not with Lawrence, but because of Trevor Lawrence, like the Chargers game.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Saints game and the Texans game.
Yeah, I believe you're right there. I think that they'll have a package for him, like you said, Joe, and they're going to integrate him in a little bit.
Yeah. Because
talent-wise, he's probably better in the long run, but not when you're trying to save your job. You want that veteran guy in there that, has got a chance to do some things.
Just one little sidebar to this, and this is the recruiting part of this, and I find this interesting, is that when kids are being recruited, he is the biggest prize that Florida has pulled.
Right.
And they want to see what this kid's all about, and because they're going to be playing with him next year. They're not going to be playing with Graham. And so that is also, you got to showcase.
They got to integrate him.
Bro, he's trying to win games.
Yeah.
You know that, right? He's trying to save his job.
But he's got to play the guy that is his biggest recruiting jewel.
Yeah, he does. They'll have like situational spots for him.
Exactly.
There's no doubt about it.
Which I think that makes the most sense. Graham is a smart, capable quarterback. Yards per attempt will go up this year because it's a better line, because there are more capable receivers, sans Ricky Pearsall, but they at least think they have more numbers because Trey Wilson's going to be if Graham Mertz stays healthy, Trey Wilson will be the beneficiary of a lot.
If Trey Wilson were in Alabama, he'd be a superstar right now in college football.
Yes, yeah.
So,
all right,
he's an elite player.
All right, real quick, speaking of the Montrell injury.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, Matt, jump in on this because we love it. This is On 3 putting it out. The SEC is moving towards adding mandatory injury reports by the start of the college football season, which I do find interesting because the Montrells of the world, they want to know. And gamblers want to know.
I think it's funny how, this is all part and parcel of college football just sprinting toward the light as far as the NFL being the NFL.
Right.
For so long, it was they didn't want anything to do with being compared to the NFL. They wanted a separate game. Now it's everything is the NFL. Gambling was the unspeakable sin in college football.
Yeah.
Now they're literally embracing it.
Yeah. Me and Hard Rock Bet, I'm embracing it. That's for sure.
No, and I'm all for it. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just saying it's just funny how quickly it turns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The app will be alive and well by the time we get to this Florida-Miami game, along with the many others that you guys will be in on. That's for sure. Looking forward to it. But, yeah, they want that injury report if they can get their hands on it somehow, some way. We'll find out whether coaches are ready to provide that type of information. By the way, I don't know whether we have the Harbaugh sound, but we'll get to it in just a little bit. Harbaugh, it was a comical response to what the NCAA and Michigan are facing right now that Harbaugh has exited stage left. He vehemently denied this thing.
Oh, yeah. He didn't know anything about it.
Oh, my gosh. And it was a fairly pious response, was it not, Coach?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So I guess I've done nothing wrong.
Okay, so let's just do real quick before we go to break.
Yeah.
Let's do.
Oh, you got it.
Let's do a little simple addition by subtraction. Okay,
Yeah.
so if Harbaugh's vehemently denying it, okay,
yeah,
and the coach you have now deleted 52 text messages once they found out this guy was under investigation, whose fault it is then?
Yeah, and by the way, this whole thing,
the guy you just hired,
right? This whole thing's going to come out. Netflix is unveiling this episode at the end of the month, is it not? I believe that's when it comes out, the whole Connor Salius thing. So, RJ, this was from Chargers camp yesterday, the presser from Jimmy Harbaugh.
Yeah, I do have a comment on that. Never lie, never cheat, never steal. I was raised with that lesson. I have raised my family on that lesson. I have preached that lesson to the teams that I've coached. No one's perfect. If you stumble, you apologize, and you make it right. Today, I do not apologize. I did not participate, was not aware, nor complicit in those said allegations. So for me, it's back to work and attacking with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
It was beautiful because when he went through his statement.
That's phenomenal, actually.
It was great.
That's a great one.
But when he went to his, if you watch him on video, he gets to that one point where he says, today, I do not apologize. And then he went to his notes. And it's basically, I'm denying this. I wasn't complicit with that. And he made sure that he had it read verbatim the way he wanted to. It was calm. It was classic. It really was. Jimmy Harbaugh at his best, full on khakis.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Sophia Smith's goal in extra time gave the U.S. women's soccer team a 1-0 win over Germany in their semifinal match. The Americans will play for their first Olympic gold since 2012 on Saturday against the winner of the Spain-Brazil match that is just getting underway. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone led a trio of American women into the final of the 400-meter hurdles. McLaughlin-Levrone cruised to the top spot in her heat, while Jasmine Jones and Anna Cockrell each took second in their heats to advance. American Cole Hocker pulled off a massive upset to win gold in the men's 1,500 meters. Hocker set an Olympic record with a time of 3:27.65. Yara Naguse of the U.S. won the bronze. And the U.S. men's basketball team will face Brazil in a quarterfinal matchup set to tip off in the next 30 minutes. The United States is 9-0 all-time against Brazil in Olympic play. Their last meeting came in '96 in Atlanta. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Mia here, and it's the sale that's sweeping the nation. It's the national sales event, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota. Arlington's lot is packed with new Toyotas in stock in one location. Plus, at Arlington, every new purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty and 60-day exchange program. Worried about financing? There's the Arlington Credit Helper. You even get a complimentary car wash with every service. Don't wait. Now through September 3rd, shop the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. In person, 10939 Lansing Boulevard or at arlingtontoyota.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Are you worried about your roof? Protect it with a lifetime shingle transferable warranty with Universal Roof and Contract. Save up to $1,250 on your roof replacement, plus flexible financing up to 15 years. This expires August 31st and restrictions apply. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484. UniversalRoof.com. Hey folks,
folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
15,000 workers. I'm Brian Rose from Remedy Staffing. We survey 15,000 blue-collar workers each year to better understand what drives quality and dependability in our workforce. The survey shows when looking for a new job, the initial pay rate, job security, and safety while working are the most important factors for hourly workers. If you're an employer and would like to learn more about the voice of the blue-collar worker, please call us at 904-528-1933.
There are so many ways you can catch me, Mia O'Brien.
Helmets and Heels.
Weekdays, noon to 2.
And on 1010XL's video and social channels. All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
It's Mo Time with Mo Bryan.
On 1010XL.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
This is David Lane. After suffering through several painful injuries to my shoulder, back, and knees, I've taken my issues to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and without fail, they've been a tremendous help towards solving my problems. If you have any orthopedic situations, don't procrastinate. Take action today. Give those aches and pains to the pros at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, poker players. The Card Player Poker Tour is heading back to Best Bet Jacksonville from August 15th to the 26th. The tournament schedule is packed with excitement, featuring 9 events, including the $1,700 no-limit hold'em Mystery Bounty main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. Head to bestbetjacks.com for the full schedule and satellite information. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
We on? 1, 2, 3, go!
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Game week this week, your Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor under center for at least a series or two. That's what your head coach is thinking right now. Dougie Fresh saying it on the Rich Eisen show earlier today, and then also yesterday with all of the Jaguar media in front saying, going to try and play as many of the starters as he can. So we need to get back to the roster and take a little bit more of a look. But, RJ, if Brandon Ayuk leaves the San Francisco 49ers, and the report is out there that he can seek a trade, and the two teams that are identified right now as the most interested in making this happen are the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. So we asked the question, are you more worried about the idea of Cleveland coming into town with Brandon Ayuk wearing a Browns uniform? RJ, what are they saying?
Absolutely. Before we get to the poll question just surrounding Brandon Ayuk, let me do this.
Yeah.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So per Adam Schefter, the Steelers and the 49ers have re-engaged in conversations midday today regarding Brandon Ayuk, per league sources. As of Monday night, the 49ers and Steelers talks have stalled, but there have been further conversations today and in an ever-fluid situation that still involves other teams as well. One of the teams, of course, we've been talking about today here on XL Primetime has been that of the Cleveland Browns. And many, with our poll question brought to you by the good folks at Beaver Chevrolet and Beaver Toyota, say they would not be worried at all because of who is the quarterback with the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson.
Okay, that part I get because, like we said earlier, Deshaun Watson does not scare you the way he
crazy,
used to scare
seriously.
You. But you should be worried about Brandon Ayuk. You 100% should be worried about this cat because he is one of, and I think the number went back to 2021, maybe even a little earlier than that. Anyway, yards per attempt throws to Brandon Ayuk is at the top of the charts. We're talking 12.4 was the number. When he gets the ball, he's downfield, and he's making plays. And we talked about how deep the secondary is. But Tyson Campbell is going to draw that assignment if he comes rolling in. And I'm looking at both of you. That's going to be a tall task. Brandon Ayuk is one of the better receivers in the National.
Deshaun was playing with a bad shoulder last year, too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's cleaned up. He's healthy. He's ready to go. I don't get the whole, you're not worried about Deshaun Watson. You better be worried about Deshaun Watson. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, they didn't pay him all that money because they didn't think he was going to be any good. I guarantee you that. So if he's healthy, he's going to be a factor. There's no doubt.
Yeah. And so when you're adding weapons, I don't care what team you're talking about, adding a Brandon Ayuk to your arsenal, to your stable of talent, ooh. And so we already know that the Cleveland Browns are going to come in with a stout defense. We already know that. You got Cam Robinson facing Myles Garrett. That's serious. And you've got a lot of other good players on that side of the ball.
Might be a problem.
Well,
that might be a problem.
I hope Cam holds up, and I think he's capable. But Myles Garrett was on his way to an MVP type of season last year. And Stefanski and company took a team with 4 different quarterbacks starting for them, including the dinosaur, old man Flacco, flipping Flacco to the playoffs. And that's minus Nick Chubb, too, last year with some of the injuries they had to deal with.
I'm going to take the Leon Searcy approach to this question. Bring him on.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, the first 5 games, you got a lot to worry about because they're all 5 pretty good football teams. But guess what? We need to play. When you play teams that are good, brings out the best in you.
100%.
If we're going to be any good. So I'm bring them on.
That I love, 100%. I'm sure all Duval loves hearing that from Coach. Same way, because you got to match their talent with your talent. And it does look like this is a more talented football team as we get back to some of the trimmings on this roster. They have got to handle offensively down in South Florida, Tyreek and company. We know that. They got to handle them. This defense will face a stiff challenge against that offense. But Trevor and company are going to be going up against a defense that they should be able to score on. They should be able to make plays. Miami, we all talked about it last year. They had 1 win against a team with a winning record.
Right.
And this team needs to go down there and send a serious message to them that both sides of this football team are complete.
I'm 100% with you, Joe. I can't wait for that game.
Yeah.
We're going to find out a little bit about our team, even though it's early. We're going to find out about our team a little bit in that ball game, in my opinion.
You match that up. In other words, you got to face a pretty high-octane offense. You might be able to go good on, or you might be able to go against their defense and really put a number up as well. Then they come back up here for the home opener, and you got to go up against a damn good defense, a really, really good defense. So it's kind of the opposite when you take a look at it.
I mean, honestly, that's a game that you're looking at that. You almost have to have that game, the Browns game.
Oh.
Because you're at the Dolphins, the Browns, at the Bills, at the Texans.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but 3 of the first 4 on the road.
I can't wait for the Texans. I can tell you that right now.
But 3 of the first 4 on the road against playoff teams. That is significant.
It's
and
a heavy lift.
They're all 4.
It doesn't mean they can't win games. It's just that's a heavy lift, man.
It is. You're right.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, all 4 playoff teams that they'll be facing. And if they can get through that, I love having fun saying that the Gators are going to start off 4-0, and I love having fun with the idea the Jaguars are going to start off 4-0. Yeah. It probably won't happen.
Honestly, if they get 2 wins in the first 4, they should be elated.
Well, I think the game down in South Florida is extremely gettable because of what this offense can do, what I believe can do against that defense. We don't know how healthy Bradley Chubb is. We don't know how healthy Jalen Phillips is going to be. We know that the defensive side of the football, there are chinks in the armor down there. So this team, going back to what we were talking about with Tank Bigsby earlier, he needs to be the full complementary player with Travis Etienne.
I get it. Ask him how difficult it is week 1 in the NFL winning on the road.
Yeah.
It
ain't easy.
Very, very difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
they could have lost the Colts game last year. They won by 10, but they were down in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of those teams that you just mentioned, we can beat.
They weren't down, but that team came charging back. Yeah.
They weren't down in the fourth.
I
they scored 10 straight.
I don't think I have to go back and look, but I don't.
Be wrong.
Yeah, but I just know that they ended up winning that game, like you're saying, and the point is clear. It ain't easy to win on the road.
No, especially in week 1.
Yeah.
Like if that Dolphins game was like week 4, then I'd say, all right, you got a better chance.
Mm-hmm. But you're going up against, like we just said, you're going up against everyone's darling in Houston early inside the AFC South. You're going up against the Bills Mafia on a Monday night, which is going to be an atmosphere.
Yeah, they were down like deep into the fourth quarter. They were down.
They were?
Okay. Yeah, they were down 21-17. They scored with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter to take the 24-21 lead.
Okay, and
then scored again.
31-21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet the farm on that game. I thought they had it with
Well, that's kind of my point. And the Colts were playing with a brand new quarterback starting his first NFL game.
5-point line.
Week 1 in the NFL on the road. In fact, they gave him 2 straight years on the road. That's kind of a little slap in the face.
A slap.
There, man.
But and right now the number is we'll look at it at Hard Rock Bet, but it's in that 3-point neighborhood at least right now, and so we'll see whether
take them.
Yeah, and so it's just an important game for them to get. If they get that, they grab confidence with them coming back from South Florida, and then if this defense can do what we are starting to think they might be capable of doing, they can harass Deshaun Watson. They can get to him. We don't know how healthy Nick Chubb's going to be. They're going to have to rely on other guys because he had a devastating knee injury. So getting those guys back is definitely going to be a chore. All right, so let's get back to a little bit more roster trimming, all right? Just a little bit more before we are done today. We got in the secondary room. Let's get in the linebacker and defensive line room coming up. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. Hanging out with you. Thanks for hanging out with us either on YouTube or if you're just listening to us on the good old-fashioned radio, on the app, wherever it might be. We appreciate it.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Attention men and women, if you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS. Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, and maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in Fort. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
This summer, Big Chief Tire is teaming up with local nonprofit V for Victory to support local families impacted by cancer. Greg Frangie here. To participate, donate school supplies at any of Big Chief's locations, including Orange Park, Westside, Blanding, Southside, and Northside locations, and receive 10% off your next service. Together, we can make a difference in the Jacksonville community. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to see the full wish list and learn more. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 6, 2006, Tiger Woods becomes the youngest player to compile 50 PGA Tour wins with a 3-stroke victory over Jim Furyk in the Buick Open.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're Cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
It's the end of summer sale with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Save $300 on every window and $825 on all patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But restrictions apply, and this offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Luke Fortner spoke to the media about his transition from playing center and moving to guard and what he has learned from center Mitch Morse to make him a better offensive lineman all around.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Anytime you get to learn from a guy who's been playing at such a high level for such a long time, you can't waste that opportunity. So it's been great to have him, learn a bunch of stuff from him, and then it's right, bump over to guard and kind of get a feel for what those guys have been doing. And, I think playing guard is just going to make me a better center, better guard, better offensive lineman overall.
With the offseason signing of Mitch Morse, third-year stud Luke Fortner will be making his switch to guard, but soaking up all the information he can learn from this veteran center, where he will most likely be a few seasons down the road. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Specialist Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
My takeaway is I'm so happy it's ball. I mean, ball is just back, man. We are talking all things ball. I mean, the Olympics are nice and everything. I haven't watched any of it.
I do love the Olympics. You haven't watched any?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
What is wrong with
man?
you?
Well, I'm also working too, but still, it's ball, man. It is ball season. Love it. And I also love the fact that both of our big teams, really all three of them actually, because the Knowles are playing in week 0. So all three of the main teams here all have big seasons. Even if you want to throw Georgia in there, which I definitely do, Georgia and Clemson's a big game for Dabo, because does Dabo's philosophy of not going in the portal. It could be exposed in that game against Georgia.
My takeaway is that it's ball time again.
All right, listen, I was going to stay with the theme, but then he had to go after the Olympics. My takeaway is that I have thoroughly enjoyed the Olympics, and we are so rich in medal count that we even let some dude from Louisiana wear a Sweden tank top and compete and win the pole vault for the second straight year.
World record.
Yeah, which was just, it really was amazing. So I have seen nothing but good. And I think even the University of Florida right now is 12th in countries in terms of winning medals. And so there have been so many good stories.
You're obsessed? How much have you watched of it?
Oh, I watched a ton of it.
I watched a lot of it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. It's so funny.
I'm watching Vikings, by the way, while I'm working.
Yeah, but like I like watching live stuff that actually this is right now real. What's going to happen is right flipping now instead of a script. And the other cool thing about it is the son-in-law, and they're all trying to make sure they shape the youth of America. Both of these son-in-laws in the power rankings are trying to move up.
Right.
And so Jordan has got Lemon, I like to call her, which is little Libby, and Eminem, I like to call her, which is Amelia. And both of them, ages 5 and 3, are watching the heck out of the Olympics.
Oh, that's great.
And they're loving it. And they're watching all the different sports. And it could be both men and women's. And they're just digging the heck out of it. And so that's a couple of future, either sports fans or athletes ready to rock and roll as they were somersaulting and jumping and running all over the place. So that part of it I love too. That is really the essence of the Olympics. When I go back to my kiddom, I remember a lot of the Olympics in my memory.
I do too.
Yeah.
Back then it can't miss.
Yeah. It was so good. And so I feel like we've gotten a bunch of great stories. That's for sure.
The one that affected me the most was Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, he's fired a 60.
When he came back from 6 down after 10, and he cried.
Yeah, I saw that celebration.
On
that was
the
pretty cool.
podium as the national anthem was playing, and I cried right along with him.
And I think to myself, and it was funny because we're watching it, and I did a little Olympics work and whatnot, but to watch that 62 go down and see him come from behind like he did, and Xander fade, Rahm fade, Fleetwood fade, it was something else. Hideki came charging on Saturday, almost got to the silver.
Fleetwood faded? Fleetwood faded?
Yeah, that's a shock.
Shocking.
Shock. Because I believe he and Rahm were tied going into the final day, and Rahm faded even more. Like at least Tommy faded to a silver. Rahm just fell off the podium.
Right.
And so he had a couple of bogeys coming in. But for Scotty to do that, going back to what Coach just said, because you think about it, Scotty's rise to stardom has been basically over a 3-year period. This Olympic era. Not the one in Rio, not the one in Tokyo, this Olympic period. And so him and Schauffele were the two Americans that went over there representing him. And it's the same golf course, Le Golf National, that the Americans got hammered by the Euros in Ryder Cup play a couple of years ago.
Right.
We're talking embarrassing how they got whooped at that place. So he was ready to chalk up some new memories, that's for sure. All right, real quick, let's hit the linebacker room. We may not get to the defensive line, but before we're done. So now that we are in a 4-3, Coach, as opposed to a 3-4, you can't help but flip the math. How many linebackers did you guys have last year? Was it in that 8 neighborhood? And so, yeah,
No, but it's not really a 4-3.
Yeah.
They're really running a 4-2-5.
Right. So I'm at that 6.
So that's why, you might be a little less there, actually.
Yeah. I'm at that 6 neighborhood. Now, the guys that are at the end, and let's just focus on those just for the minute here. The Ventrell Millers of the world, who actually is dealing with a little injury. And Doug Peterson said he thinks he might have a chance to see some action against the Chiefs. But guys like that really need to make sure that they make the most of those opportunities in that 4-3 alignment, for sure.
Well, I think the one thing about the linebacker position that skews it a little bit, you might not need 6, but you need guys on the special teams that are linebackers. So that's where that comes into play.
Yeah, I could go 6 or 7.
Yeah, I'd go 6, really.
Yeah, I think I'd go 6 too, actually.
Yeah.
Well, the one that I'm looking at right now, not knowing exactly what's going to happen with Ventrell Miller, is that you have your solid up front Foye, Devin Lloyd. You know that those are going to be your 2 main guys, and then you're going to make a decision. Like we said, if it's a 4-2-5, who comes after that? Chad Muma's really got to start to prove that he can.
He's going to make the team.
I know he'll make the team, but he's got to start proving that he can do the job that they're asking him to do when he is pressed into duty, which is play on that strong side and make sure they can cover.
Ventrell makes the team too, so that's 4.
Yeah, and he's playing.
Basically.
He's a smart guy. What I've seen from him is that he's playing 2 positions.
Right.
He's playing a backup of one of the 2 inside guys, and then when they go to their heavy situation, when there's more tight ends in there,
right,
he's going on the tight end at the same position. So he's playing 2 different positions.
Yeah,
and he's smart. So I think
I'll tell you what. I'm sorry, Coach.
No, go ahead. I like Ventrell.
I like Caleb Johnson, man.
I like Caleb Johnson.
He just makes plays when he's out there.
Yeah,
man.
and so right now Caleb is one of those guys that I can't quite figure out. He might be ahead of Ventrell when it's all said and done because of his special teams value.
Yeah.
And if he does stay healthy, obviously he's going to supplant Ventrell. Ventrell is a heady, smart, ferocious for his size guy, but he's
skinny too. I love how he gets skinny.
Guy.
He's not, but he gets skinny and he makes tackles.
Yeah,
man.
It goes to what Coach said back in the day that they had that size guy making big time
going
plays.
sideline to sideline. And the one thing I like about him is you've heard me say it before. When the ball is snapped, he's moving.
Yeah.
You know, and the more I watch him, he looks like he's moving to the right spot. He has instincts. There's no doubt in my mind. The guy that's going to be on the cusp is Abdullah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you going to do with Abdullah?
Where does he play? That's the point.
He's a backup Sam right now.
That's what I wanted to know because I wanted to hear that. Because look, we're talking about even Mason Smith. Use him as an example. He's an interior 3 right now behind Eric Armstead. But Mason can be kicked outside. We know that Miles Cole can be kicked outside. He's more of a practice squad guy. At least that's how I see it. Right. He's a big human being that I think has a chance.
Yeah.
But where does Yasir fit in?
Well, he plays on the where I see him is that he's got 3 roles if he makes a team. One is Sam linebacker backup.
Okay.
If he's going to line up on the tight end, which allows him to rush the passer some against a heavy set on offense. The second one is he's going to be on the special teams. He's got to be a player. There's no doubt about it because he can run now and he's big enough where, on those kickoff teams and stuff like that, I could see him out there. The third one is if they think he can go as a substitute pass rusher, that's his third job. And he does have quickness off the ball.
In that wide alignment, right?
Yeah, he's got to be out there on the 9 because he can't.
That's what I'm saying. Put him wide and let him rush the passer. That is where his 3 things he could do.
And let's not forget, they went out and they got Rasheem Green. They went out and made some other moves. DJ Coleman is another guy that is factoring. I'm not saying he's going to make it or anything like that, but he's factoring he's popped a few times when it comes to making plays.
Talk about 54.
Yeah.
I like 54.
Yeah, he's made
He's
plays.
also considered. I think he's considered an edge.
He
though.
is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He is.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
So is
like,
Dixon.
if we're walking
Those are
Yasir
like
up,
ends.
I'm just saying, like, if we're walking Yasir up,
Oh, I see what you're
Yasir
saying.
up,
Okay.
let's not forget about
Yeah.
those other guys that are back there.
I like 54 now. He just has something about him. And he got in a fight last year, which I really like as well.
right,
So
I was listening to him one. He would not stop chattering,
yeah.
man. He was
Well,
just
he's a
talking
talker.
trash. Speaking of talking trash and guys we like, let's do this.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
He runs his mouth. He starts fights. His name is Hayes Carline. He's the embedded and shredded.
Corleone.
We're breaking down the roster,
Corleone.
I love it. Let's
Yeah.
break it down.
Yeah, I do like, instead of Carline, Corleone. We could call him Hayes Corleone.
Never go against the fan.
So we're basically approaching this, Hayes, the butt end of each position group, okay? And that's not a slight.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just the back end of the roster.
Hey, it's a numbers game.
It is. It is. So off the top of your head,
It is.
off the top of your head, we just went 10 secondary, 6 linebackers,
Okay.
eight defensive linemen. That's kind of
Okay.
Now we may change that. We may massage it, one way or the
So
other.
24 on defense?
Yeah,
Okay.
right around there. And I'm trying to operate off the 24-24 rule, and then I'm going to put.
Well, you get 25.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to keep it balanced.
Exactly.
Yeah, then you can do 25-25, and then you got your 3
And then
specialists.
you got your 3.
So you just found a guy. Now you get to keep a guy you were going to cut. How
Holy
about
smokes!
that?
I still got DJ
Or you
Coleman
can
in
keep
the
26 on.
DJ
You can
Coleman
keep
is
26 on offense if you want.
but
Keep
real
an
quick-
extra offensive lineman or something.
You had a great conversation with Devin Lloyd, and we have watched him a ton. And I feel like Devin Lloyd might be blossoming into a position that I don't think too many people would have projected for him.
Yeah, I would agree. This is obviously a big year for Devin Lloyd. I think the scheme change really helps him.
Yeah.
And again, he was a player in college that lived in the backfield. He is a go attack. Yeah. With Devin Lloyd, I mean, Dave can speak to this way more than I can, but it seems like there's certain guys that it's just like, just go get him.
Right.
And it literally comes down to that. And I think everybody kind of has to, work off of that. And so, I think with Devin, he's a key guy. To me, the 3 guys that's going to determine whether this defense is above average or very good are Devon Hamilton, Devin Lloyd, and Andre Sisco. There's a guy at each spot.
Yeah, I love
because they're not the stars. The stars are Josh and Trayvon and Foye and Tyson. But if Devon, Devin, and Andre can all have huge years, to me, that's the access of excellence right there. If they are going to be excellent, it's got to start with that trio that have huge years.
By the way-
And they all look good. They all look like it's time. They're young. They're ascending. But if those 3 all play really well this year, this defense is going to be scary good.
I don't mind you going ahead and working on that T-shirt, and
that's a statement.
he'll answer to Dre. He'll answer to Dre easily. So
Yeah.
Devon,
Scary
Devin, Dre.
good.
If those 3 play well.
Wow.
Which
We'll
I
get the
think
barbecue
they
good on
will.
that. He'll design the hell out of that
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Well, hey, let's do
What's
it.
coming up?
Yeah, we're going to have a really fun Frangie show coming up. Ira Schofel is going to join us at 5 o'clock to talk Florida State football. That'll be our first Woolsey Morecambe National College Football Report of the season, so we're certainly excited about that. And I had a chance to catch up with Devon Hamilton yesterday after Monday's practice, so we'll play that interview as well.
He's printing T-shirts right now as we speak. All right, Hayes, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right, looking forward to that. We are out. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us.
You got it.
We had a great time, and obviously we'll keep it going. We look forward to game night coming up.
We're now, 4 days away?
Yeah, 4 days away. Cannot wait. Thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. Look for both of them online. You can find Beaver Chevy on Phillips Highway and, of course, at beaverchevrolet.com. Beaver Toyota, StAugustine.com, right there in the AUG on US 1. Linda's there to wow you. The rest of them are as well. They will take great care of you when it comes to buying or servicing that beautiful ride. We are done. Joe C., Dave Campo, Matty Hayes, and RJ. Take it away.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt